new student dialogue about disabilities. We learned a lot about how people with disabilities live their lives and what they do on a day-to-day basis, and we learned that people with disabilities can live a normal life with a few restraints, and it's possible for them to do anything that we do and achieve anything they want to achieve and do anything they can put their mind to. I do feel like we achieved a true dialogue during my new student dialogue. I feel like everybody started talking and putting input in once we learned more about people with disabilities. Like after we watched the video about the guy who had a disability, but his mom had to take care of him his whole life, and he had to stay in the bed because he couldn't move. He was able to type what he wanted to say. Whenever he got tired of his mom taking care of him, he put an ad out on Craigslist and got his own caretakers, and one of his caretakers ended up being his girlfriend. He was able to buy his own clothes. He went out to see the world whenever he wanted. He would go anywhere he wanted with his girlfriend. He still spent time with his mom and was able to live a life and have a real life. I feel like there were a few active voices in our dialogue. Not many, because I don't think people really wanted to be there or were uninterested on the subject. But the ones that were active spoke up a lot and said their opinion and contributed to the conversation so that it started. And they had some aid of the leaders to help them control how much talking occurred. There were a lot more reserved voices during our dialogue. I think just because everybody was new and nobody knew each other, and they didn't really know how to go about it, I guess. Personally, I feel like I was a active voice because I spoke up a lot and I'd put my opinion out there and I'd say what I was thinking about a certain situation just so that it would get some conversation going and get everybody talking and make the time go by faster. And every time we filled out a worksheet about disabilities, I would volunteer to say what me and my partner discussed so that we can contribute and hopefully get other people to contribute. I do think that the Library 100 is a valuable thing to new Clemson students because it kind of opens our eyes to things we don't think about every day. Like, we don't think about people with disabilities and the struggles they go through, or people with self-image issues, or economical issues, or race issues. I personally just don't think about that every day, and going to that session, it really helped me open my eyes to see what they do go through and what they have to go through to accomplish their goals, and show that no matter what, they can do it if they really want to. And that's why I think it's so valuable that Clemson does that, and it is useful because it just teaches people without that don't think about it respect for people that do have it. The dialogue that I went to was overall very successful. The video that they showed was very inspirational about the guy that had to overcome a lot of things. It showed me that no matter how hard things can get harder, but in the end it's going to be worth it because you can do it as long as you put your mind to it. And it showed me that people with disabilities really can do anything they like. They can achieve whatever they want to as long as it's physically possible for them, and they can live a life that I never imagined that some of them can live. the dialogue helped me see that they're just like everybody else. And I think that's part of the purpose of the dialogue. So I do think the dialogues are important, and ours was very successful.